Hi, it's Dwayne from CodeWheel. Many web frameworks have their own command line tool. For example, Laravel has Artisan and Drupal has Drush. Over the next couple of videos, we're going to be looking at the WordPress version called WP-CLI and some of the cool stuff it can do. In this video, we briefly look at some of the WP-CLI commands and how to install WP-CLI. If this video looks interesting to you, don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. So what is WP-CLI? WP-CLI is a command line tool which allows you to run WordPress commands and actions from the command line. For example, creating a new user, installing a new plugin. So this saves you time than logging into the actual WordPress site to perform actions like this. So what is WP-CLI? WP-CLI is a command line tool which allows you to run WordPress commands and actions from the command line. For example, creating a new user, install a new plugin. So this saves you logging to the WordPress site to perform actions like this. On this page here is a list of all the commands which you can do within WP-CLI. So you've got stuff like running cron jobs, the help system, importing WXR files, menus, plugins, managing the post information, user roles and privileges, search and replace, I use that quite often, theming, installing, activating the themes. Three of the ones that I tend to use the most is WP user, WP plugin and WP DB. So I'll quickly go over what WP user does. Okay, so what WP user lets you do is it lets you create users, adds in different user roles, and you can also delete users. There's quite a lot you can do within the command line tool. The one I tend to use most is creating new users because it's a lot more easier doing it on the command line than going through the WordPress admin process. Another one I tend to use a lot is WP plugin. Similar to user, what you can do is activate, install, and delete and deactivate plugins, all from the command line, which is much more quicker and easier. Another one I tend to use a lot is WPDB. What WPDB does is that you export out the database and import another database. So say if you want to work on a website and you want a copy of it, well, just for backing up, you can use your WPDB export command. So that's what them are the three I mainly use the most. I plan to do a video following on after this one, going through each of the main ones I use in the process of how I use them. So let's go and install WP-CLI. Before we do, you need a couple of things. You need an SSH access to your server. If you're using Windows, it's usually something like PuTTY, that's what I tend to use on a Windows machine. On the Mac, I think it's Terminal. I'm currently using Kubuntu, so it'd be the console. If you're not too sure what the login details are, your hosting provider will usually have this information for you. You sometimes get it in like the email when you set up a new hosting, or it's usually in admin area. If you're not too sure, just contact them and they put you in the right direction. Finally and lastly, if you don't have WP-CLI currently installed, you're going to need sudo access to do that. If you've got it installed, you don't need to worry about that. Okay, so let's load up a command line tool. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is you're going to check if you've got it currently installed. So what to do to check if you've got it installed is WP hyphen two hyphens info. As you can see, I've not got it installed. So the first thing we need to do is grab the URL for it. So if you do curl hyphen o, I can never remember the URL. So if you go back to the browser and go to this link here, I'll leave a link to this inside the comments below, and click on installing. That's the one. Okay, so we paste in the URL. Awesome, that's copied over. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is change that file. So we're going to change the privilege for it. So it's chmod plus x and it's WP. What's the name of that file? So it's wp-cli.phar. Okay, and that should be done. And now we just need to move it into the another directory. So it's sudo move wp-cli.phar, and you want to put it into the user local bin wp. Type inside the sudo password, and then if we look at wp-info again, all installed. If you more than likely won't need to do that if you've got it installed in the server. If you've got it installed in your server currently, you see this message when you type in wp-info. You will see all that, so that means basically you don't need to install it because it's already done for you. Okay, that's how you install WP-CLI. In the next couple of videos, you're going to go into more detail in some of the other commands which you can use using WP-CLI. If you have any questions, please drop me a message in the comments. If you liked this video, please don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. Thanks for the time.